The Golden Globes are happening this weekend, and we're about to give you our expert opinions. This is Screen Junkies News. Hello everyone, I'm Alicia Malone and I'm so excited because I'm a huge sucker for award season. So I can't wait to hear what everyone's thinking is going to take home the Golden Globes this weekend. We've got an expert panel right here. Dan Murrell, Roth Cornett, Andy Signor, and over there, Charlie Feldman.
I love the People's Choice Awards.
Yeah. And so we've also got some punishments and some rewards for the people who get the most right and the people who get the most wrong. And we're going to tell you about that at the end of this show.
We were not told.
I was not told there were any punishments.
There are, and they're specific to each of us.
Oh,
Charlie's going to
fantastic.
explain that from, I can't wait to hear what everyone is. But let's get into it, starting with Best Picture Drama. To recap, the nominees are Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. Dan, what's your pick?
Well, it's a two-picture race, I think. Lion's got an outside shot, but I chose Manchester by the Sea. I think it's the more traditional awards movie. It's got the blockbuster performances. It's got the prestige. Moonlight is a fantastic movie. A little more unconventional than Manchester by the Sea. They're both really, really strong, but I chose Manchester.
Yeah, it really is between these two, I think. Roth, what's your pick?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Those are the two to pick from. And I actually went with Moonlight. I agree. It is a little bit of the outlier of the two that are in the race. But that's sort of why I think it's going to win. It's the Globes. It's very unpredictable. We don't know what they're going to do other than nominate very famous people. And I think I love both of these films, but by an edge, I love Moonlight just a little bit more. So I'm going with that one.
Andy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's between those two, but as we've sort of already alluded to, the Golden Globes is all about celebrity. The Hollywood Foreign Press, I'm going to say it's kind of a BS thing. It's like whoever wines and dines them the most usually gets more accolades. So I think between those two, I'm going with the one that has the more famous people in it. So therefore, I'm going to give it to Manchester by the Sea.
I'm thinking Moonlight will get the edge. It's something unique and different, beautiful cast and wonderfully told story. But as you said, it's the Globes. We don't know. It could go either way.
This is not the Oscars.
Not the Oscars at all. But with Best Picture Comedy or Musical, one of the things I'm most excited about this year is the fact that they reinstated the rules to say very specifically that you have to have comedies and musicals in the comedy and musical category, which is really cool. So the nominees are 20th Century Woman, Deadpool, Florence Foster Jenkins, La La Land, and Sing Street. Roth, your pick.
I'm going to go with La La Land on this one because it is both a comedy and a musical. It's being very well received. It's a front runner for the Oscars. I think this is, without a doubt, it's going to La La Land.
Yeah, I'm picking La La Land as well. It's a movie about Hollywood. Hollywood loves movies about Hollywood. It's such a beautifully told story as well. One of my favorites, as you guys know. Dan, your pick?
La La Land, it's a comedy, it's a musical, it's set in Hollywood, it's the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, it's the front runner. Yeah, La La Land.
But Andy, you're going
I got it.
something
I mean,
different.
this is so boring if I don't change it up a little bit. I'm going with the most famous. I'm going with the one that you don't think is going to get it, but I think could swoop in and break the fourth wall. I'm going Deadpool.
Yeah, you never know. Never know.
That would be a first, too, right?
Yeah.
This would be the first time.
Ryan Reynolds is out there. He's shopping himself around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants it. So who knows?
It was a very well-made film, and a lot of that came down to him and
Come
his
on, La La
passion.
Land's Phil Welly's. I'm an actor. My
Don't get me
dreams.
started. This is not movie fights. Getting on to Best Director, the nominees. Damien Chazelle from La La Land, Tom Ford, Nocturnal Animals, Mel Gibson, Hacksaw Ridge, Barry Jenkins, Moonlight, and Kenneth Lonergan, Manchester by the Sea. Andy, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm going with my rule of who's the most famous.
Yeah.
And even though I think it's probably unlikely, I got to continue my rule. I'm going to pick Mel Gibson. He returned to form. If we're just talking filmmaking, he's back in rare form in this movie. I think it's a movie the Hollywood Foreign Press will love. It's very religious. It's very full of drama, good performances. I think they're going to reward him. Damien Chazelle, I know, is the front runner everyone here is going to pick. He's still too young. I think he's got to earn some more cred.
Well, I think Mel
He's
Gibson as
gonna
well, the HFPA, have been supportive of him for years because he's been a presenter.
This
as
is
we've
the
seen
Globes.
before. Yeah, these are the Globes.
Not
Roth,
only that, what would that speech be like? I mean,
I
that
wanna
is
watch.
like the best
Is that
part.
right? They're all dead. He's drunk.
Yeah, it's
He's
going to be
drunk.
late in the night.
It's late in the night.
This is the Globes.
It could be on his best behavior. We never know. Roth, your pick?
I'm going to go with Damien Chazelle for La La Land. Although I have to say that I really loved the battle sequences
They're
in
really good.
Hacksaw Ridge. And it is the Globes. We're watching it to watch these people get drunk and act crazy.
Yeah.
But I still think it's going to be Damien Chazelle.
Dan?
I almost went with Kenneth Lonergan. I ended up going with Damien Chazelle for La La Land. And, Andy was saying, you were saying your strategy was silly. There's nothing silly about picking the most famous person in every category for the Golden Globes.
Yes.
That is a sound strategy.
He's gonna
I don't know
win.
if it's
You know
gonna
he's
take
gonna
it.
win.
Yeah, it could very well get you the victory.
I know. It's one of those things where I, study pretty much the whole year, watch everything. It's like my fantasy football. I study the form, I know all the guides, and often get it wrong because you never know. But I'm going with Damien Chazelle for La La Land. I think, he's had such a great career. He's young, but with Whiplash and now La La Land, he's really proved what he's made of. That's such a huge feat to pull off, so I think he'll be rewarded for that. But who knows? Best Actor Drama, you've got Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea, Joel Edgerton for Loving, Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, and Denzel Washington for Fences. Dan?
I almost went with Denzel. Number one, because he is very famous. Number two, because he is legitimately great in Fences. And I think this conventional wisdom that Casey Affleck has it all sewn up and in the bag, I agree he's still the strong front runner. But I don't agree with this thing that Casey Affleck is the hands down winner and the competition's over. Having said that, I did pick Casey Affleck to win this award.
How come?
I think that he has the momentum right now. He has the support of the Actors Guild, and he is considered to be the front runner. And I think the Golden Globes, it's this weird thing sometimes where they shift wildly between making the unconventional choice and making the absolutely expected conventional choice and wanting to add to the narrative and be like, well, he won the Golden Globe and now he's won the Oscar. So
I definitely agree with
between
that.
those two, I went with they're going to go with the conventional wisdom and pick Casey Affleck.
See, I
Plus,
think
it is a great performance.
It is a fantastic performance. I'm picking Casey Affleck as well, not only because he was brilliant in that movie, but like you said, the Golden Globes loves to legitimize themselves by saying that they were the first to pick the Oscar winner. And with Casey Affleck being the front runner for the Oscar, I think they would love to give it to Casey. But Andy, you're going with someone different?
Yeah, I'm going Denzel. I think it is. I mean, I didn't actually love the performance. I mean, I see why but it stank a little bit of like he had done it on Broadway so long that he had memorized the lines and the performance was just so obvious for him that it's like to Denzel level. I think I've seen him do better just because I know he can do better. It's felt like he just had done this a lot. That said, I get it. It's a great performance, and I think they're going to give it to him because it's Denzel.
Yeah.
And I think there is a little bit of worry about Casey Affleck with the scandal and things, and I think that could still balloon up. Who knows? Who knows if he's the greatest guy? This is a good way to then give it to someone who really is a fantastic actor, lots of iconic work to celebrate.
Yeah, he won the Cecil B. DeMille Award last year, so the HFPA obviously loved Denzel. And you're right, Casey Affleck, I do wish people were talking about that scandal more. But anyway, Roth, your pick.
Well, adding to that, I think that could be the thing that takes him out of contention is the scandal. I think you're right about that. These are two very different performances. Denzel is a huge star still, and he's a journeyman, and I think that they could reward him for this. He did already win a Tony, so they're like, well, we're right. We know we're right.
Yeah.
He already won the Tony. But Casey Affleck's performance, Manchester by the Sea, that entire movie rests on that performance. It's incredibly precise. It's a very understated, powerful performance. I do think it's a beautiful performance. And sometimes, adding to your point too, they do like to be predictive. And both of these award shows like to spread the love. Like Kenneth Lonergan's probably going to win Best Screenplay, but maybe not Best Director.
Exactly. I think that's what they do a lot of the times. You're right. Best Actress in Drama, Amy Adams for Arrival, Jessica Chastain for Miss Sloane, Isabelle Huppert for Elle, Ruth Negga for Loving, and Natalie Portman for Jackie. Andy.
This one's tough. I think it could go to Natalie Portman, but I'm going to go Amy Adams just because I think she's more famous now.
Rough. I love your strategy, Andy. You never know. I reckon Andy could win this
Play a
whole
hot
thing.
hand. Like, that's not a bad
Arrival was a
strategy.
very popular movie.
It was a very popular movie.
Yeah, that's right, Roth.
It's a great. He's gonna win. You know he is. I am actually going with Natalie Portman, and I still think that she is internationally perceived as a huge movie star. And she is a huge movie star. And again, this is a movie that rests 100% on that performance, and it's a really skillful performance. Like she is matching Jackie Kennedy's archival footage so well, and bringing a depth of emotion to it. So probably Natalie.
Yeah, Dan, it's got all the kind of hallmarks of an award performance.
It does. It is like the trifecta. It's a real life historical figure. It's a movie star in Natalie Portman, but a movie star who hasn't won an award in a while since Black Swan. So it's like almost a comeback historical figure.
It's a comeback already? My God.
But Natalie Portman hasn't been, like, Natalie Portman won for Black Swan, and then she's kind of been away for a while. She's been making movies, but she hasn't been in that discussion like Amy Adams has every year been for the last few years. And Natalie Portman, I think for a lot of people, they're like, wow, we haven't seen this caliber of performance from her in several years. So I think this is the trifecta. I think that she wins the award.
Yeah, you're right. This will be her third Golden Globe win, but it has been a while since she has been in the award season talk, and she's so wonderful. I'm picking Natalie Portman as well because it's a complete transformative performance. She's not an impersonation.
Yeah.
You know, she really got into that role, and it's a historical figure that is very much beloved, and she did a great job. When it comes to Best Actor Comedy, Colin Farrell for The Lobster, who I secretly wish would win, Ryan Gosling for La La Land. I love it.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant for Florence Foster Jenkins, Jonah Hill for War Dogs, and Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool. Roth, it's kind of the battle of the Ryans in this one.
Yeah. Also, I'm curious, we'll talk later, if you think Isabelle Huppert has an outlier
She
shot.
does, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is. It's the Ryans. And I think Ryan Gosling deserves all the accolades that he's getting, not only for this, but also for The Nice Guys, which I loved that film this year, and it's gotten very little attention. And I think this becomes a twofer for him. They're like, we'll give it to you for La La Land and The Nice Guys. You were funny in both. But I think this will be the outlier one. This is where they actually do give it to Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool in order to be like the cool hip kids. And Ryan Reynolds was awesome. And he was the lead character in that film, not really supporting at all. I do think that they're going to give it to him.
It's him, isn't it, Dan? It's like his sweat, blood, tears.
That movie,
everything.
he willed that movie into existence practically. And other than Jonah Hill, sorry, Jonah, nothing personal. I think that any one of these four, they love Colin Farrell. They gave it to him for In Bruges. He's an international actor, so I think they like him for that. Ryan Gosling obviously is in the leading movie. Hugh Grant, they love a comeback story.
Yeah.
They love to see Hugh Grant take it. And then Ryan Reynolds, I've picked Colin Farrell in this category before, but I actually did go with Ryan Reynolds because I think, number one, they know that the viewing audience at home is going to love to see Ryan Reynolds win a Golden Globe. They know, his speech. They know it's going to be a funny speech. It's going to be a fun moment. And yeah, it was legitimately, if you watch that movie is him, and he is hilarious in that movie. He is the core, he is the engine behind that movie. So I actually did pick Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool, not on a lark. I legitimately think he could win this thing.
I know, it was a surprise nomination, but not unwelcome. Andy, you agree?
No, I totally think this is Ryan Reynolds. I think for all the reasons you said.
Yeah, I'm going different. I'm going with Ryan Gosling, but I do agree it could possibly go to Ryan Reynolds. I just think La La Land is going to walk away with the most awards out of this year's Golden Globes. And Ryan Gosling, as you said, so good in The Nice Guys and La La Land. His comic timing is impeccable, and he sings and dances in La La Land. Really put everything into that role. Okay, Best Actress for Comedy, Annette Bening, 20th Century Women, Lily Collins, Rules Don't Apply, Haley Steinfeld, The Edge of 17, Emma Stone for La La Land, Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins. Andy, who's your pick?
I'm going to go... This was tough. Meryl Streep. I think they're just gonna. Is that the most famous?
She's been nominated 29 times for Globes. She's won 8. So
that's what I said.
It's a good pick.
It's gonna be Emma Stone. I gotta go Emma Stone. She's more famous now than Meryl Streep, wouldn't you say?
Well, Meryl Streep's also getting the Cecil B. DeMille Award this year. So
Emma Stone.
okay, you're going Emma
Switching.
Stone. All right, going Emma Stone, Ross.
Yes, I'm going.
Dan?
I'm saying Emmy Stone, but watch out for Haley Steinfeld on the outside corner. You never know. They love an
Never know.
underdog.
I'm picking Emma Stone as well. I think, it's definitely a comedy and musical. She really held that role. She put so much emotion into it as well. And she's been nominated once before for Birdman. This would be a nice first win for her. Best Supporting Actor, Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water, Simon Helberg for Florence Foster Jenkins, Dev Patel for Lion, Aaron Taylor-Johnson for Nocturnal Animals. Dan, we'll start with you.
I'm picking Mahershala Ali. He's the only name that ever gets mentioned when the supporting actor award comes up. And it is a great performance. Again, it surprises me a little bit that's the one that people are keying in on from this movie, but he is legitimately very good in this movie. So I'm picking Mahershala Ali, but since this is the Globes, watch out for Dev Patel sneaking in as a spoiler potentially.
Yeah, Roth?
Yeah, I'm going with Mahershala Ali as well. And I think I understand where you're coming from. I think it's a great performance, but in that film, there's several great performances. And I think that they've sort of focused on him because he also has a really big career outside of that, you know? And this becomes more of like a journeyman win. And this was a great performance.
Yes.
It gets the movie attention, things like that. And I do think he'll win.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm going with Mahershala Ali, I think, because he has been a standout in so many films. I mean, even just last year, he was in Hidden Figures as well as Kicks and great in Moonlight. So I think this is more like, congratulations for your whole career.
He's great on House of Cards, too.
Yeah.
Luke Cage, he's
The Hunger Games,
exactly.
playing
Luke
the guy
Cage,
that tells
that's
Katniss
right.
where to go.
So it's like finally he gets his due.
Yeah, I think that's a good shot, but I'm keeping with my most famous. I think it's Jeff Bridges. I think that movie deserves respect anyway, and I think Jeff Bridges' performance in that is really good. It's going to get the award.
I love his performance in that. He's so good. And finally, Best Supporting Actress, Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea. Roth, can you believe Viola Davis has been nominated 5 times? She never won.
That's insanity, and it's
Yeah.
going to be corrected immediately because she's definitely going to win this. And it is a great performance. It's a very strong performance. I think this one is the lock. Like, I would be shocked if this went any other way. She also won a Tony for that performance previously. She's got all the heat. She's the lady. I love her, too.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch How to Get Away with Murder?
No.
How to Make a Murderer. Was it? How to Get Away.
It's so soapy, but she manages to be amazing in that, too.
She's great. And Dan, that role, my gosh, there's that one point where she's just got spit,
Well,
snot.
that's what she, especially a lot of times with for me,
There
my
it is.
decision was,
There it is.
that's
Look
the
at her.
scene.
I mean, she really
She's
got
holding
everything
nothing
on
back.
there.
A lot of times with these supporting categories, it's a lot of times it's best scene. Because with the supporting role, sometimes it's like, okay, what's the one scene that made the most impact? So for me, it's between Michelle Williams and Viola Davis, because I think they had the 2 best scenes in this category. I went with Viola Davis because, my God, she is acting the shit out of this. I mean, she's putting it all out there. And she's also, very understated in the rest of the movie, but she has that one showcase scene,
my
and she's
gosh.
brilliant in that scene. So I chose her.
Just something she often does, right? You remember Doubt? She had that
Doubt.
one scene,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
really put everything on the line.
And that's what really put her on the map was Doubt. All it took was that one scene to see just what an extraordinary actress she is. And I'm just like, I'm kidding about How to Get Away with Murder, though I do watch that show and I have no shame about it.
Well, yeah, she's been nominated twice for that role.
For that role as well, but
Golden
she's got
Globe.
such a big career.
Yeah, should be called How to Steal a Scene. Yeah, leave the jokes to you guys. Andy, your pick.
I'm changing it. I think it's going to be Michelle Williams. I think she is famous enough, and I think that scene defined the whole movie for me. And I think there's something about the fact that people are like, is she channeling the loss of Heath Ledger? There's just so much stuff in that
I didn't even
moment
think about
where you're just
that.
like, holy moly, that's
She's-
just an amazing
yeah.
moment.
God, Andy.
And so I think by proxy, that's an award win for Michelle Davis. I'm sorry, for Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams. All right, so those are our picks.
No, I'm switching too because that's just like that
You gonna
was
switch?
no, but
I
God.
know, it's very true. Ugh. So those are our picks. Now we get to the interesting part. Charlie, you have our rewards and our punishments for the person who gets the most right and the most wrong.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah, trust me, Nimi, I think I'm going to lose.
And we had some help. We did ask our audience, and they came up with great ideas. Hamza Juzer says that whoever wins the best, wins the most, has to gets the ability to challenge movie or TV fight champions. That's a great idea. Kevin Ross says the least winnerable person.
But Dan would be challenging himself.
That's true.
I challenge myself every day.
Which,
It's
frankly,
what keeps you sharp.
I want to see now.
Oh, just wait.
How do we do
That
it,
would be
Dan?
awesome.
Be like,
Just
good Dan.
tape,
even
pre-tape
though-
Gollum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like they did the SNL debates
Yeah.
back when Dana Carvey
change
played
seats.
both
Yeah.
roles.
Like
yeah.
the Parent Trap.
Split
with
screen.
Lindsay
All right,
Lohan.
that's it. Dan wins because we want to see this.
I'm going to figure out how to do that.
So, for all of you, if you win, everyone has to do a champagne toast to you and
Whoa.
say all of your wonderful qualities as if you're being buttered up by the Foreign Press Association.
On camera?
They're on camera. It's very positive.
I want to win.
I wanna
And by the way,
win.
these are not set in stone. If you guys have other ideas, let us know in the comments. But the losses, you will have individual losses
God.
Good
that
grief.
could be what you do. So Dan, my favorite one of all,
Oh no.
if you lose, which I don't think you will, we get to write damaged on your forehead like the Joker for the whole day.
I am bribing the Hollywood Foreign Press. I
It'll
tell
be
you
a
right now,
washable
that's
marker.
not happening.
That would be great to see. I love that. I'm going to take a picture with you.
We would all have to take pictures.
Not gonna happen.
Andy, if you lose, which I feel like
Yeah, I'm probably going to lose.
you have to watch all of the Decalogue, the Krzysztof Kieslowski 10-hour
Oh, yeah.
10 Commandments Polish film.
Not
And,
only does he have to watch
Wait,
it.
Yeah.
so Andy's punishment is he has to watch a classic movie?
For 10 hours.
Hang on.
Sounds
10
awesome.
hours. You
Yeah,
can't
sounds
get
like
up.
punishment.
You cannot get up.
No looking at your phone.
You're
looking
tied
at
I don't know how
to
you're going to claw. Yeah, how this is going to
Yeah, how's
physically
that gonna
happen.
work?
Good luck getting me anywhere for 10 hours.
Yeah.
tied to a
Away from his
chair.
phone?
Full Clockwork Orange, eyes.
No
Did you,
phone.
You
I
cleared
read
with
that.
my wife and child?
Yeah, he has a family.
Or another shorter foreign film, but something.
Roth, if you lose, you must give a passionate review of the Three Ninjas series.
Oh, that's
All-
easy.
That's awesome.
Why is everyone else
And all
Would you
of
like
the
to switch,
series
Dan?
include Three Ninjas
I'll write
Big
damage
Fat,
on my
Three
forehead.
Ninjas Knuckle Up, Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain.
That's
Watch all of them.
awesome. I'm happy to lose. My poor wounded ego and insecurity needs the toast probably, but I'm happy to review the ninjas too.
All right, give it to me.
Alicia, if you lose, you have to host an improvised nerd movie listicle.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I love that.
Yes. Yes.
Improvised with no research.
Yes.
No research.
I would be screwed. Okay.
So look forward to see you watching all of those things.
That is so funny. All right, so those were our punishments and our rewards.
I'm
we have to
winning
wait
either way.
and see what's going to happen. We'll be back on Monday after the Globes to talk about who won and who lost.
I'm getting ready for that toast.
It's award season, so we'll be talking today. We're just talking about our predictions and laying out the bets and things like that. But we will be talking about some of the things, Alicia, that we alluded to earlier, probably in some form or another. And I know some people have asked us about it, so I'm just saying that is not being nerd. We'll talk about all of that separately somewhere
This is
else.
where I feel like
at a
I
different
finally
point.
come in.
No,
to
we're
help
both
out
gonna,
the
like-
team. Yeah. Great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Dan Murrell, Roth Cornett, Andy Signor, and Charlie Feldman. Thank you. And for you guys, make sure you click over here and watch more goodness from SJ News. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and follow us on Twitter at SJ News. We'll see you soon.